Hello, welcome to RC Video Reviews. Today we got a special video for you. It's the first time I've ever done this. We're going to do a field build of the FMS 1400mm Kingfisher. Before I get into the content, I need to let you know this video is sponsored by FMS, who sent me the 1400mm Kingfisher for review. If you're interested in this airplane, I'll have a link in the description. That is an affiliate link, so if you use it, be aware the channel gets a little bit of a kickback. That's paid by FMS and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Regarding the specs on this plane, I'll put some details in post, but it is a 1400mm wingspan. It's a plug-and-play model, which means the motor, servos, ESC are already installed. And if you look on the bottom of the box there, it's got the awesome little Reflex V2 gyro, so we'll be utilizing that today as well. So the idea today is just to get Fred to put this airplane together. So it shouldn't take us more than about 15 to 20 minutes. And after Fred puts the plane together, I'm going to configure the radio from scratch. So we're going to use a Radiomaster TX16S. We're using an Express LRS receiver. And in terms of tools, Fred's got a box cutter, a set of hex drivers, and the Express LRS receiver right there on the bench. So Fred, let's tear into this thing and see what's in the box.
Let's do it.
You guys know how I like to do things. I'm going to show you the packaging really quick. FMS always does a really good job of using the styrofoam to keep the EPO separate to prevent damage during shipping. That's what it looks like out of the box, and in typical FMS fashion, the packing material is just fine. All right, we've got the Kingfisher out of the box. We've got a manual, some hardware right there, a prop, hardware bag, a rudder. That's our driver set to put it together. It comes with a set of floats. There's a little FPV canopy, the landing gear, wing struts, braces for the different landing gear options that you have on the plane, the horizontal stabilizer, both wings, and the fuselage. Fred's gonna go ahead and take it away. There's the manual, Fred. You got the hardware kit. Have at it and tell us what you see.
I see. The goal here today is to put all essential parts together without any extra leftovers.
No spares. Well, we're going to have spares because we're not going to use the floats today.
Well, we're not using those necessary essentials.
Yeah, so we can take that stuff out of the picture, as a matter of fact. We don't need that. But you do have
floats.
So if you guys, you know, if you're flying with snow or water, Dave's going to be the helper.
We got a rudder. Unlike the Ranger, which has a rudder on the floats, this one hooks to the rudder, I believe.
Yeah.
And if you want to go skiing,
yeah, there's some
snow
skis.
Yeah,
right
that's
here.
Right. I see a couple people on Discord post their plane pictures in wintertime, so I know a couple of you guys could use that.
You could even do grass takeoffs of those if you want.
Hey, on a rainy day here, probably won't.
Yeah. What do you think of the manual, Fred?
Manual's pretty simple. I like pictures, you know. Tell me what to do. I don't have to read as much. Looks pretty straightforward. Let's get started. We're doing first landing gear.
All right, first up is landing gear. We've got, how many screws is it? Four? Three?
Like we got three screws and a cover
and
to
a
go
beauty
on
cover.
Here. Okay, and we got here
10 millimeter. They're just going to screw onto the bottom. Notice the wheels are already on the gear, so you don't have to do any of that. All we have to do,
installed. Yeah. Just about everything. You just it's pretty much a screw together set. You know, kind of like the old Stage 1 models when you're a kid. You know,
yeah.
Snap together, no glue required. They even got 3 screws in here, so 3 holes. No way to put your landing gear on backwards.
And brass inserts, right?
Brass inserts in there in the plastic. There's little slots in here that kind of confuse me. I guess it's for the different landing gear, though, is what that's for.
Yeah, if you're going to use like the skis or something.
Yeah, I was for the wire gear. Yeah, I was looking at that, and I was kind of threw me off for a second, but just double up.
All right,
these down.
3 screws right there through the beauty cover, through the gear, on the belly of the plane. That's
done.
It. About
30 seconds, we got that.
30 seconds.
It took me longer to figure out which screws go in there.
Yep, easy. All right, what's next, Fred?
Now we're going to get to the wings. Got the spar.
Wings?
That's what it says. Are we jumping to this? Yeah, already. Main wing installation.
No, let's not do the wings. Let me teach you a little something. Do the tail. Do the tail. The tail's easier, it's smaller, and when you put the wings on, it becomes more cumbersome to handle everything. So do the tail first, then we'll put the receiver, and then we'll do the wings last.
Professional tips here.
They're professional pro tips. And here's why I say that. Check this out. On the wings, everything's already done. There's nothing to do here. You've got your servos are in place, your connecting rods are in place, the clevises are on, the fuel tubing's on. Everything's done. So really, that is literally the last thing that I would do. And because they're big, that makes handling the plane more cumbersome if you put it on now. It's easier just to leave the wings off, put those on last, and get everything else done. It makes the plane smaller to handle. All right, so let's skip over the wings, Fred. All right, so now horizontal stabilizer. Go ahead, Fred. Pop that baby in there.
This goes in. We don't even got any screws. Hey, let's put it on the right direction. Thanks, Dave.
Helicopter guys.
I
got you.
Line the tab. You got a little tab right here. Just gonna make sure it's lined up perfect and snap.
Oh,
See,
nice.
Look at that.
So no screws back there.
Just like the canopy goes on.
Very nice.
Right there.
So for those of you who like airplanes to break down, that's pretty easy.
You want to hold that a minute? And that is pretty tight. Okay. Good. That's not going to fly off. That's an important thing.
All right.
All right, what are you doing now?
The wheel just slides in here.
Tail wheel?
I don't know how it just slides in. It's got a clamp on something. Pop it up. This comes up right next to a hole right there, and there's a screw that goes in there. We just gotta find what screw it is.
All right, so Fred's gonna put the horn and the cover on. That'll lock the tail wheel in place and make it steerable. And it's 2 screws, right?
Two screws.
3 by 10 millimeter.
Yeah, one's gonna go on the bottom through the wire itself for the gear. The other's just gonna hold the upper part of the bracket.
And obviously you can see we need to put the control rod on as well.
Snug it up, not too snug.
Not too snug. Looks good. All right, done deal. All right, next up is the rudder control rod. We're gonna pop, so it's a Z-bend, Fred. That goes on the servo horn first.
Yeah, so we like that. Which hole are we gonna use though? The first.
Always the outside,
Always
man.
the out. We're outsiders here. We like them big throws.
I know somebody's gonna say, no, you don't need to. That's fine. You can adjust it down if you want. There you go. Tighten that thing up a little bit. Make sure that rudder's nice and stable. And here's another pro tip. When you put that on there, so Fred's flexing the surface, that's good. When you put that on there, don't clamp it yet. Leave it unclamped. We will clamp it after we center up the servos using the radio, so don't clamp it.
Done deal there.
Okay.
We're all set with the tail.
All right, done deal with the
Partial
tail.
set up.
You didn't clamp it, right?
No,
Leave
we
it
just
loose.
put it on there.
There
It's
you go.
loose.
Okay.
It's there.
Now the elevator, same thing.
Line her up.
Z-bend goes in there. And they already have a fuel tubing on the clevis, which is a really nice touch. Saves time.
I'm going to have Fred put all my airplanes together from now on.
He's fast.
Yeah. I'm going to have him put them all together, all of them.
Almost done already.
Yeah, that's what they said about me back in high school.
Fast Freddy.
Yeah, this one's giving me a little trouble going in the hole here. We might have to open her up a little bit. Yeah, this one don't want to go in. I need my glasses. Can you see? It don't want to go in all the way. It's kind of tight. It's real tight.
That's fine. We'll leave it there. We'll get it when we clamp it up. You didn't clamp it, did you?
No, I just
Push it through?
yeah. See, it's not.
All right, that's fine.
It's still not all the way through, but
Next up is the electronics configuration. You can see we've got a reflex V2 gyro right there. You've got leads that enable PWM connectivity in the gyro if you want to use those. And they also include an S-Bus lead. We're going to be using Express LRS with S-Bus, so that's the only wire we need connected to our receiver. So Fred, go ahead and remove those PWM wires. We don't need those.
be careful here. Don't just rip them all out.
Yeah, you don't want to rip the gyro out of its
One thing I
mount.
found with these foams is there's double back sticky tape. Sometimes don't want to stick too well to these foam things, so I don't want to put too much pressure. Might rip it off.
Yeah, and then let's take the Velcro strap out because we have Velcro on our battery already, so we don't need the one down on the ground on the deck there. That can come out. There
Man,
you go.
FMS thought of everything.
They
Even
did.
Velcro strip
Yeah,
for
take
you.
that home, Fred.
That's beautiful.
And then also we got an XT60 connector. So next up is to simply install the radio. For the radio configuration, we're going to use S-Bus here on pin 2 on our Express LRS receiver. I've got flaps on channel 6, and these are the aileron leads for the wings. So we're going to put the wings in next, connect them to the aileron leads. We'll connect our flap leads as well, and then we'll do our radio setup.
Let's do this wing here.
So the spar goes to the plastic shoulders on each side. That's where the strength comes from.
Beautiful supports.
There we go. Next up is the wing.
Just the right side.
Hey, let's take a look at the wing, make sure everything looks okay. Let's take a look at the leading edge, trailing edge, make sure we don't see any warps, any bends, any problems with the paint or graphics. Nope, all looks good. And then also, we do want to flex those surfaces a little bit before we run them. So let's disconnect those from the servo if we can, and we'll flex those. Oh, there. You got yours loose already?
Yeah.
Dave's already got his pop loose.
It's
There you
quick
go.
at us. He's
There
got
you
some
go.
experience on him.
Well, I don't have any fingers in the way.
Speedy.
You know, everybody with all the fingers in the way. Yeah, these are
Those
free.
are your flaps, so those are loose. Okay. And you got your ailerons loose? There we go. All right.
I've looked this 100 times.
There you go. Nah, you don't need to do it 100 times. All right.
Reconnect.
Go ahead and reconnect. Run your fuel tubing back up.
What are you going to do the last hole?
Yes, always the last hole.
All right, Fred's going to put the starboard wing on first, and we're going to feed the flap wire and the aileron wire through the little hole on the other side right there. So that'll
Otherwise known as the right wing.
be the right wing, starboard wing, for those of you involved in the
You got
aviation.
some wires here, and there's a nice big gap to put them in. Goes all the way in. Oh, clicks.
click.
There we go. We heard click. We're good.
Oh, yeah, look. Oh, check it out. Yeah, that's this button. Would just click is that button. So
Oh, nice. A quick release.
Yeah, no screws needed. Just put it in, it
Nice.
clicks, push it in, and it comes
I
right
like
out.
that. All right, next we'll connect the wiring. So flaps
Flap.
first. So this is the flaps. Make sure you line up those signal lines. Make sure those are always match those signal lines. It won't actually damage the servo if you don't, but the servo
be
won't work
backwards.
if they're not aligned. All right, next up is the ailerons. Remember, the aileron lead is on the back of the gyro. So Fred's got the aileron lead for the wing, and that is the shorter one on the wing. That's going to go on the lead on the back of the gyro.
There we go.
There we go. All right, next up will be the port wing, and we'll do the same thing, flaps and ailerons. This is going to be more challenging because the gyro is right there. That's going to be a little
The
more
long
tricky.
wire is pretty easy. Then there's shorter ones.
You get one already?
Yeah, one's already
Nice.
through. Shorter wire's a little bit more challenging, but there we are.
There we are. Okay, so this is flaps.
Flaps. Line up signal wire.
Okay, flaps are connected. Next up is the aileron, and again, that's on the gyro already. So Fred, go ahead and connect your aileron wire. So Dave has a little pro tip for you when you disassemble the plane and take the wings off. Dave?
Yeah, for those of us that like to take the planes apart, there's enough wires. Now, when we take the wing apart, don't disconnect it. Just take the wing apart and feed the wires through, so that way you have the connectors on the outside here.
Makes
and
it
next time,
a lot easier.
Yeah, next time connect them, it'll be a piece of cake. Feeding them through here at first is hard, but once you pull them through, oops, then it's good.
That might actually be a good idea to do now while we route our wires. Like pull those wires through,
There
then
you
we'll
go.
route all the other wires inside, and then we'll stuff the loose ones in last. And
There you
that way
go.
that'll come apart nice and easy. So let's go ahead and do that. Dave's tip is to get the join on the outside of the fuselage. So that's what Fred's done. He's separated the wing, and we're just going to feed the connector so that it comes to the outside of the airframe.
Yeah, pulling that one. Hold
Grab
on.
this one.
I will start with the other one.
There you go. That's one coming.
No, hold on, the second one's already right there and it's stuck.
There you go. There you go.
One.
All right,
Gotta
there's
do one at a
one.
time.
There you go. There's two.
Two.
Okay, now let's do the other wing. I'll switch with you.
There you go. Wings hold very nice.
So same deal. We're going to pull the servo connector to the outside of the fuselage.
Just want to get one at a time. It's a little hard getting both through at once. And they got it's a little crooked. There we go. No
There we go. Okay, so now our connectors are on the outside. That'll make it a lot easier to take it apart. Good tip, Dave. All right, so we've pushed our receiver. We found a nice little compartment or a cavity right there in the wing, and it actually is press fit in there. I really don't think it's going to move, but just to be sure, we're going to put a little piece of Blenderm tape, which I had in my field kit. So no special tools, just a piece of Blender tape that I keep in my field kit when I go to the field. Got that tape securing that receiver in there, Fred?
Feels good.
Okay. Okay, let's reattach the wings. We'll put the wing strut on and we'll set up the radio. Next up are the wing supports. They just slot into the fuselage and then they line up right there under the wing, and there's a couple of pins, some cotter pins that go in there to secure those to the wings.
Gotta love cotter pins.
There we go.
One down. All the same size cutters, yep.
Oh yeah.
This is quite easy. Just about easier than screwing it.
Yeah. That's one thing I'm seeing on this plane that I like quite a bit is the concept of the quick release. You know, everything seems to come apart fairly easy.
Disassemblability, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
make
like
sure
that.
you get your extra pins just
Yeah.
in case.
Always a good idea to have extras, stuff like
figured.
that. A little easier maybe?
Maybe. I never do anything the easy way, so.
I noticed.
We'll figure it out as we go along, Dave.
There you go.
Here goes
there
the
you
port
go.
wing stabilizer. How many airplanes have you built, Fred?
And total, this is my second one in my life.
Second one.
Last one I was like, as me and Dave were discussing earlier, young lad, maybe at the age of 13. It was the good old Falcon 56 by
All right.
Goldberg.
So second plane, and we started at 20 after. It's been exactly 40 minutes, and that's with all of us stopping to film and reposition and do all of that. So
Yeah,
40 minutes,
My first
start
one, I
to
think,
finish.
took 3 months to build.
All right, that's it.
Beautiful.
I
We're
said
attached.
he's a spy. Look at that. He's a professional. He's a spy from the helicopter
FMS
world.
Kingfisher. Hey guys, it took us 1 hour to build that plane, configure the radio, and get ready for the Maiden. 1 hour. That's all it took. Very simple, and we did it at the field. It was a field build, so very good. One last control systems check before we take off. I expect the right aileron to come up, and it does. I expect the left to come up, and it does. I expect the elevator to come up, and it does. I expect the rudder to go right, and it does. I expect the rudder to go left, and it does. Here we go with the Maiden of the FMS Kingfisher. Now, in case you're wondering, yes, we did calibrate the ESC, and yes, we did center our controls. So all of that was done before I took off. Just did it off camera. Couple clicks of down, couple clicks of left elevator or left aileron, and I think that's about it. I'm gonna bring it down low so Fred can get a look at it. It's got those big gear, so we can handle grass field takeoffs if we want with that gear. It's stall setup. And I took off with no flaps, of course.
You know, all of these planes today looks like they forgot to wash their shoes and they're wearing their dad's shoes with the big, big wheels. You know?
All right, let's see what she's got. Let's do a couple things and see what happens. We'll do a couple maneuvers. Fred, I'm gonna try a loop first. So full power, plenty of juice for a loop. There's a little inverted. Oh yeah, that's very neutral, holding the altitude just fine there. That's beautiful, I like that. Easy. Can it knife edge? Huh!
Look at that.
It takes some steering, but
Not bad at all.
Not too bad,
No.
not too bad, it does it. I gotta try, let's just, what the heck, let's try a flat spin, just to see. Nope, nope, didn't like that. That's fine. We'll do a yaw test. Just check the rudder, make sure the tail is square. That came down to the left, so a couple clicks of right. That's why I'm turning it like this. A couple more clicks of right. There we go, that's straight enough. So needed a couple clicks of right for yaw, no problem. I didn't bother doing a voltage setup because we were really just looking for a quick, clean, and easy setup, a beginner setup, and that's what we got. So it was very easy to get this plane ready to fly. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, a little bit of an outside loop. Let's try Cuban 8. Oop, that was a little sloppy on my part.
It's called the Cuban 8 with a twist.
That's a Cuban jiggle. There we go. Nice. Easy mannered plane. It's just, you know, they've done such a nice job on the power to weight ratios for these high wing stall type planes that they're just easy natured planes. So no problems at all flying them. Let's try a couple touch and goes. I'm going to put some flaps in. There's half flaps. And do you see that balloon? That definitely went up some. I'm gonna do landing flaps and we'll see how slow we can get it. I'm really pushing it down toward the runway too. Nice.
Nice. That looked ugly from where I'm at.
That was ugly. It was slow though. We landed in like 3 feet. All right, let's try it again. I'm gonna land right at myself. I'm gonna bring it in right at myself, and I'm gonna land in the grass if it wants to come down.
You're gonna make the runway. Oh, you didn't even make the runway.
Totally redeemed yourself.
Nice.
Huh?
Total redemption right
Spot
there.
landing. All right, I'm gonna do takeoff flaps. No, you know what? Let's do full flaps. See how fast we can get off the ground. And the wind is coming from our back. So in order to really test this, I'm gonna turn it into the wind, put the flaps all the way down. Ready, Freddie? I'm not gonna aim it at you, but here we go. Oh, you know what? Let's do it in the grass too. It's a stall plane, big wheels. Let's do it in the grass. Let's see how fast this one gets off the ground. All right, here we go. Ready, Fred?
Do it.
Nice. What was that, about 5 feet?
Probably, yeah, 4 or 5 feet.
Bring those flaps in, straighten her out. I like it, man. This is just a fun little knock around plane. Very good.
Timer 1 elapsed.
That's my 5-minute timer. So with that said, I'm gonna put it on the ground. Without knowing how the battery performs, let's...
Very
There
nice.
you go, rough field landing for you. Without knowing how the battery performs, I wanna get it on the ground and measure so we don't run out of battery when we least expect it. No problem, rough field handling. FMS Kingfisher. All right, Fred's gonna fly the Kingfisher. Hey, by the way, we got 5 minutes and 15 seconds and the battery came down exactly at 3.8, so that was it. Fred's never flown this plane before, and he'll probably try the gyro out. I didn't fly with the gyro. He might try it. Whenever you're ready, Freddie.
That was a wild takeoff.
A little bit.
Whoa. All right. What is low rates in the middle?
SB is down or mid.
High rate. Low rate.
Yeah, we just put it on low rates. That was a little quick. I'm used to longer sticks.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. A little windy, man.
Well, put that SC switch in the middle position.
Hey, we're gonna get the feel of it here for a second. Yeah, these low rates are really low. I just put wind rejection on because it's a little bouncy.
High rate.
We're back in high rates. All right. I just need a second to get a little feel of it. Yeah, that feels more comfortable.
Inverted's pretty easy on that one, right?
Yeah. Now I see how you go from plane to plane, man. It's like each plane's a little different. It takes a minute to get your bearings. You
They
know?
do. They all have different
Yeah,
personalities.
about what? I'm at less than a minute in the flight, and I pretty much got it now. It just took me a little time to get used to these controls.
Yeah, and you can always tune them to be similar, you know, in terms of behavior and reactions on your throws and expo and stuff like that. It's all about what makes you comfortable. It does climb a little bit. It's not unlimited vertical, that's for sure. It's not what the plane is about. But it's got enough to be able to handle athletic sport flying. We'll call it that way.
Yeah, the rates are a little bit lower than 3D planes.
A little bit. Try landing, Fred.
Gonna bring her around. Let's see here. We got a little bit of a crosswind starting to pick up. Let me do a loop.
Very nice.
Whoa! Oh, that was horrible. Those wheels are bouncy, man.
All right, there's your gimme. Let's see you do it without bouncing now.
Whoa. Yeah, she goes right into the wind, huh?
Oh, yeah. Fred.
All right, let's give her another one. Another go. Redemption here.
You get a one mulligan. What do you guys think? Think he'll stick it? Will he stick the landing? Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, nice.
Ah, not too bad.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. For a heli guy, it was pretty good. Were you flying with the gyro, Fred?
Yeah, we did the first couple minutes I didn't have it on, then I switched it on. Just because it's windy out here. This crosswind, especially on landing, is not my forte.
Very nice. Back on the ground, no spare parts. That's a win.
Kingfisher, baby.
All right, we'll put this on the table and wrap it up. All right, Fred, you put this one together. You flew it. What did you think?
Quick and easy to get together and up in the air. Handles pretty well. It's not unlike, you know, too much unlike the Ranger I'm used to flying. It's got a little bit more throws to it, a little bit more power. Took me, you know, a whole 30, 45 seconds to, you know, get my, you know, sticks acquainted with it, yeah, and get the feel of it. And after that, you know, at first the high rates felt a little high. I'm used to longer sticks.
Well, yeah, let's be fair to the plane though. I didn't even look at the book. I just set it up and I did the old "that looks about right" to John method. So keep that in mind. I always recommend, if you're not familiar, set it up according to the book. That will give you a very good starting point and then adjust it to your taste. So I want to be fair to the plane on Fred's comments. John just did the old, yeah, that looks about right for John, okay? And that's how I set it up. And I was able to fly it, you know, based on sight recognition. So, but you really should take a note of what the book says and start there if you're not familiar.
Yeah, it handled very well though. I ran it the first couple minutes without the gyro, and then it was bobbing around, so I turned the wind rejection on, and I flew for that. We had a bit of a crosswind, so, you know, landing, being that I'm very limited on fixed wing, I just figured why play, we'll play safe.
Yeah. Yeah, it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, and the bouncing, man, woo, these tires here, you don't want to get it going. Once you get it going.
The man. The man.
Yeah, I should probably have boarded that last one when it started bobbing like that.
Well,
These
hey, what's the
tires
trick?
here, yeah.
If your landing's not happy, power, right?
Power,
Give that
yeah.
power, man.
Very first flight with this plane, so
Yeah.
I saw them all. We went up and we came down, and we can do it again.
Nice little plane. It's got a budget battery, 3S2200, and you're up and running in 1 hour. It took me, I don't know, 10 minutes to configure the radio, about 40 minutes to build the plane, and we were flying. So I'd like to say thanks to FMS for sending the Kingfisher out for review. I'll remind you, if you'd like to pick one of these up for yourself, there will be an affiliate link in the description. Remember, if you use my affiliate link, the channel gets a little bit of a kickback, but that doesn't cost you anything extra. FMX takes care of that one. If you like this kind of content, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know new videos hit the channel. That's all I've got for today. Take it easy.
Later, folks.